Hi everybody, today I'm going to demonstrate how I make a loaf of bread, and this is pretty much the simplest bread you can make, but it's absolutely amazing. I'll post some pictures here, you can see how nice the crust is. It takes about 2 hours to make from start to finish, maybe a little more. You would need a mixer, you would need some scale, and you would need these 4 ingredients. So let's get started. So I use all-purpose flour, and if you're in the north of the United States, should be fine. But if you want, you can use bread flour. So 1,200 grams going in. Next, we'll put the yeast. And then 31 grams of salt. And now let's just give it a nice mix with the hands so that everything is mixed. So now that it's mixed, I'll pop it into the mixer. And now we'll add the water. I forgot to tare. And you want cold water. So we have very good municipal water, so I use cold tap water. Now it's time to start the mixer and to add the water to it. I just add it all in one shot. Now, as with these mixers, let me show you. You gotta kind of make sure that the side of the bowl is scraped. Be very, very careful when you do this with this. If this somehow gets snagged, don't try to rescue it. Go for the off button. I would even recommend don't do it the way I do it. You don't want any injuries, but I'm a risk taker, I guess. But yeah, be very careful. Nothing will stop this from breaking your fingers, or, you don't want an accident. So while it doesn't look like it's grabbing the flour, it actually is, and it is mixing it. So just be patient. And I would let it run for about 10 minutes until it's nicely incorporated and you have a nice dough. As you can see, it's getting along very nice. And it just needs the time for the water to absorb for the entire flour. After it's all incorporated, I let it go for another 3 to 5 minutes. You can also stop it and push it around so that it actually does, not only the middle gets mixed, sometimes it likes to kind of stay in the same place. And I have mine set right now on number 2. You really don't need a faster speed, only in case you need to kind of bring it up or bring it down. I think that's fine. Now, because I'm making 2 batches, I'm going to remove this one, put it in a canister, and then I'll make another one, and then I can just use this to have it rise, and then the other one will rise too. So let's get to it. Now cover it. Leave it in a warm place. I'm gonna get going and start the second batch, and I'll meet you when we're ready to shape the loaves and put them in the baking pans. Okay, so I finished the second batch, and what I didn't tell you is that each one of these batches is good for 2 loaves. Now next we're gonna talk about loaves pans. All right, so let's talk pans. There's really, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4 types of pans: ceramic, cast iron, aluminum, and I would say also glass. I will say that I don't like the aluminum. They're way too thin, and the stuff kind of sticks to them. Then we got these types of pans. These specific ones are made by USA Pan, and they do have some sort of a silicone coating on the inside so that the bread doesn't stick. I did not find that I get good results from these pans. Next we have Camp Chef, these ones. I actually like them. They're really nice. And I also use these, which are Bayo Classic. I'll post a link in the description for all these things you see here, including the mixer, including everything. But when I make my bread, I usually do these 2, 4 together, and this way I have a batch of 4 loaves in one shot. So I'm waiting for the dough to rise, and after the dough rises, we'll continue. Okay, so now it's time to start the oven. I usually start at 425 Fahrenheit and put the rack in the middle. Now this is very important. We're not gonna leave the oven at 425. It should be at around 370 Fahrenheit while it's baking. But because we need some steam, we're gonna either put a cup of water inside or a tray of water so it evaporates. Or I usually just dump some water at the bottom of the oven. I don't recommend it. It's probably damaging the oven, but I have an old oven, so I don't care much. Next step is to take the dough, and on a lightly dusted surface, you can go ahead and knead it. This is nice dough. And as I said before, this is enough for 2 loaves, so we're going to cut it in half. Usually do it with a bench scraper, but I don't know where I put it. All right, so usually one is a little bigger than the other, and if that's the case, I have 2 pans, and one is a little bigger than the other, 2 types. So I usually put the little bigger one in the bigger one. So now it's time to prepare the pans, and these are well seasoned pans. So unless I see that they're kind of dry or whatever, I will smear them with some olive oil. This looks fine. All right, so let's go ahead and knead this to shape of a loaf. Okay, that's one. This would be 2. And now we're going to cover them with some wet towels. All right, so now we'll continue to the next batch. Now we're gonna let them rise for about half an hour to 45 minutes. And in the meanwhile, the oven is gonna get to temperature. So it's been about 45 minutes. The dough have been rising, so they are in their pans. Next step is to cut some slits in them to relieve some pressure when they do expand. So it's like a controlled relief. So use either a sharp knife or a razor, like a safety razor. Okay, and now it's time to put them in the oven. And I got some hot water, and I'm gonna splash it on the bottom there. Careful not to touch the glass, it could explode. Now all we have to do is wait for 20 minutes. Also lower the temperature to 370 or 365. And the reason that we had the temperature higher is because when the steam or when the water evaporates to steam, it lowers the temperature drastically. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. This time we're going to basically take them all out and flip them all around. All right, and another 15 minutes, we're gonna go check the internal temperature. And when the internal temperature reaches 190 degrees Fahrenheit, I usually at 195, take them out of the pans and put them on a cooling rack. All right, so it's been another 15 minutes, a total of 35 minutes. And at this point, I am going to check the temperature inside of the loaves. We're looking for at least 190 degrees. This one's not ready. We need another 10 minutes at least. So let's put it back in. I'm gonna lower the temperature a little to 350 because the crust got the nice color that I'm looking for. Now we need it to complete the baking internally. Okay, so it's been another 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and check these inside. They need more time. And this is why having a really good thermometer is a absolutely essential tool in the kitchen. All right, so we're gonna let it go for another 7 minutes. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be ready by then. Okay, I think this is it. Let's go ahead and pull this thing out a little. So this one's ready. This one's ready. This one's all ready. They're all ready. Don't do this at home. Okay, and here is the end product. They cracked a little here, but guarantee they will be amazing. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm using these loaves for my next video, which is going to be testing out toasters. And that's why I needed a big batch here. But regardless, I always make 4 loaves. And yeah, if you have any questions, comments, please put it in the comment box. Please, please. Thumb up, subscribe. and I'll catch you in the next video. Till next time.